See.
Segment 3, we're back. Sal, the bookmaker, Tuzzolino, is in the middle of his handicapping his picks. He just went through his NFL picks, so go bet him. Bet some games. Not a lot. Not a lot.
Unless you want some of these.
Yes, and now we got some college games. I think
games.
College is your forte. I mean, really, the college games
I don't
that
know.
you
You
pick.
made money on the pros last week, too.
Yeah, but the college that you pick, I mean, like I said, I don't know. I mean, you had New Mexico. You bet New Mexico and Wyoming or something, right?
It just depends on the matchups.
The
like anything
Lobos.
else. Well,
I didn't know that.
I won't even go there with the Wyoming game this week because they're playing San Diego State. Whole different story because actually the winner goes to the Las Vegas Bowl. Another story there. We'll just stay away from that. But, before we talk about that, let's just run over the top 4, or actually the top 6 in the college football playoff. Now, I mean, I think right now, as they stand, the 4 teams, I think the committee's got it right. I think if everybody wins like they're supposed to, it's going to end up that way. And you'll see a Pac-12 team, you'll see your ACC team, you'll see your Big Ten team, and you'll see your SEC. That's what everybody really wants in the grand scheme of things. They want the power conferences there. They don't want the Western Michigans of the world because they'll throw a wrench in everything.
They're not even in the conversation.
But they should be, but we don't even want to go there because if they had an 18 playoff system, then they would be in there.
They wouldn't. They're
large.
They're not even ranked in the top 15. They wouldn't be in there. Like, that's...
Anyway,
the NCAA doesn't like the Western.
Well,
Michigans.
why would they put FBS behind them if they didn't want to give them a shot?
They don't want to give them a shot.
But that's exactly my point. They don't belong.
Well, look,
with the FBS behind them.
They can't do any better. They're 12-0. They've won. They've dominated everybody.
They've beaten 2 power conference
and they're
schools.
not even in the conversation.
That's ridiculous. Get out of here.
They don't want them.
They're morons. Okay, moving on. But I do think going into there's only a handful of games this weekend, and we have Temple at Navy. Now, Navy has a lot to do with the bowl picture. A Navy win could really throw a wrench into the next 5 bowl games and have a real impact on what happens with the New Year's Day games.
With all the bowl games that don't matter, but yeah, you're right.
Well, they don't matter to you, but they matter to everybody. There's
who?
Millions of dollars. Don't look at him. Look at him. There's millions of dollars at stake, and all those people. Get out of here. There's a lot of people that have a lot of dog in the fight with this.
But it is true that the playoff series has diminished the value of some of the bowl games.
That's what I'm saying.
The
bowl games don't. The bowl games we don't even care as much as. I mean, even like the Cotton Bowl and like the Rose Bowl. I mean, they used to have a say in the national championship, but now it's just a bowl game.
Now on Sunday we're going to see the preview of the Toilet Bowl between the Bears and the 49ers, or I should say the Bears and the 1-10ers. Yeah, because that's about what they are.
Okay.
So let's look at Temple. Temple at Navy real quick.
Okay, Temple at Navy.
Temple at Navy. He doesn't know anything about these. He's an East Coast guy. He knows nothing about Temple. All right, so it's basically Philly against Navy.
Yeah, I know where they are.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care about Temple football.
But what you don't know...
Temple football.
Right, Temple football, exactly. So the point is you've got Temple with a really good defense against a power-running team in Navy. That's all Navy does is run the ball. Their quarterback runs, and he throws, but he run. That's it. You stop the quarterback, I think his name is Wright, you stop everything.
Okay.
So I think Temple wins in a lower-scoring game there. I didn't pick the over and under. Now, the Florida-Bama game, we know that could be one of those 17-0 kind of games.
Okay.
Bama needs to win. Of course, we know that. But Florida has a chance to kind of do a little something for their program. If you saw the interview after their win last week, Bobby, did you see that?
I didn't. No.
Well, the coach was telling the girl from Fox Sports or whoever was interviewing him, saying, "Now that was a win, wasn't it? What did we just do there?" He was being a little bit cocky, a little bit this, a little bit that. But he was trying to tell the world Florida's back on the map. Even with a depleted team, we're back on the map. This is a Florida team that knows how to stop the run. They can't stop Bama. I don't think Bama's going to win that. I think Bama's going to win that game. It's going to probably be at that 17-3, 24-3 variety type of game. It's certainly going to be a lower scoring game. Bama thrives in low scoring games.
You like the under in that? Okay.
Bama does very, very, very well in low scoring games. And the final game that I see.
Bama does very well in every game.
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily.
The only
lost like 4
question
games in the
here
last
is,
10 years.
does Bama look past Florida to the next game? And I think that's really Florida's only chance to keep it close.
Right. Well, we saw what
They
happened with
won't,
LSU.
even with a loss, they won't probably drop out of the top.
Yeah,
four,
even if
will
Bama
they?
loses, they're still going to make the Final
Well,
Four.
remember the
Yeah.
Bama LSU game is a very low-scoring affair,
Right.
And so you also think about what Florida did to LSU.
Right.
Florida shut them down, right? They pulled one of their safeties, they put them up on the line, they put 8 in the box, and they said, "Go ahead, try to beat us on the ground," and you can't do it. But Bama can beat them in the air, and that's the part. That's where Florida loses. And the last game is Kansas State and TCU. The over and under on that should be 100. I don't know how it's only 52.5.
Wow, okay.
I mean, these are teams. If
Yeah,
you
I
combine
agree
all
with
the
that.
numbers,
Yeah.
these teams score,
They score a lot of points.
75
Plus,
to
that
80
Big
points
12,
a game.
the Big 12 conference is crazy. All those teams score 50 points a
Right,
game.
but
They
Yeah.
throw all the time, don't
That's
they?
all they. Yeah, that's all they do. They throw. You know, Texas Tech leads the world in passing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But these two teams, they should score well over 52.5.
Yeah.
That's got to be the
Okay,
pick of the week.
what about the Washington-Colorado game for the Pac-12 championship? I mean, if Washington wins that game, then they're going to lock up their number 4 spot,
Sure,
right? Right, and then Clemson's playing Virginia Tech in the ACC championship. So, I mean,
But that's a dangerous game.
Yeah.
Because Virginia Tech is a heck of a lot better than what people think they are.
yeah, they've only got 3 losses.
This
Yeah,
is
they're tough.
there could be an upset there.
Well,
and that would
and that's
really
the only way
throw a
Michigan
wrench
gets
into
in.
everything.
No, but here's the thing now. Like, so if the winner of the Big Ten championship is going to be Penn State and Wisconsin. If Penn State beats Wisconsin and wins the Big Ten championship, and one of these other 2 teams loses, does Penn State have a bigger claim than Michigan for that 4th spot? That's a tough one.
I don't know. It depends on what the money wants. What do you think?
That's a tough one.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to. Everybody wants Michigan in there. So if there's any way
Michigan's
that they can get
a
in,
quality club.
they're very, very good.
The crazy
And-
thing about it is here's Ohio State and Michigan, and guess what? Neither of these teams won their division.
Right,
And
find
they're
that
both right there in the top
amazing that
5.
They're in the top 5.
It's
yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
And the 2
It
teams
doesn't-
on the outside that won the division, they're at what?
It doesn't say
6 and
much for
7?
the conference championships. If
Yeah.
Ohio State's ranked number
Well,
2 and they didn't win anything, they'd win their division.
We
Yeah.
were talking about this earlier.
Yeah.
Is it worth keeping these conference championships going on? Why not just add a couple more teams to the playoff system and do away with those conference championship games?
You know what? Let's switch to this guy right here. He flew 2,500 miles to be here.
Okay.
He's a best-selling author.
Just for this show, not for anything going
Just
on.
for the
show,
show,
right?
that's it.
Okay.
It's never
And,
not Vegas.
So that's your book, right?
That's it.
Put
Yep.
it up to the camera so I
Tackling,
can see it.
tackling dummies.
Yep.
Here, let me see that.
Okay.
I'm going to put it right here so you guys can see this at home. I don't want to block the label. Okay. This is the guy right here, and there's his picture right there on the back.
Yeah.
Where can they find the book, and then we'll talk about the book.
Sure. So they can find it at Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, and many other local retailers that are carrying it for sure.
It's a best-selling book.
Yeah.
So let me just ask you real quickly, what was the motivation to write the book? Was there a single event, or was it a series of things?
I'm a high school football coach, and I began coaching high school football in 2008, which was really just after the CTE discoveries.
Okay.
And for those people that don't know what CTE is, what is it?
Yeah, explain.
Chronic traumatic encephalopathy, which is
Wow.
basically
Say that 5 times fast.
the brain
Can't even
starts
say CTE 5
eating
times
itself up, and you're seeing these players suffer early signs of dementia, and
Okay.
it's really bad stuff. And head injuries have been a big problem. And as I got into coaching in 2008, I noticed a lot of these kids were suffering head injuries, and I'm thinking, how can I continue to do this? I have 3 sons as well. I love the game of football. I think it's an awesome game. I've got to think about how I might be able to help make it safer.
What's your history in football?
So I grew up playing Pop Warner football in South Florida, played at a pretty competitive high school in South Florida as well.
What was the high school?
Spanish River High in
Okay.
Palm Beach County.
Okay.
Yep. And
Give
and
him
then
a little bit of love. Come on.
and then thanks. I went on to play football at a small program at Georgetown University, and so I played football for a good portion of my life, but then was away from the game for about 20 years before I got back into coaching, which I think gives me a unique perspective to be able to offer both an insider view as well as an objective view of the sport.
That's great. I have a couple experiences. I played high school and college football as well,
Right.
and I have a couple experiences with head injuries that I'll share with you because I think this is so important. And it was a different mentality back when I played back in the 80s.
Yeah,
Totally different
I know it
mentality.
well. Yep.
So I'll
Didn't
explain
they wear
that
leather
situation
helmets
to
back
you.
then? The leather hats. I don't know.
Excellent.
All right, we'll see you on the other side.